Welcome, everyone, to episode 83 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, do we want to go to space again?
Or do we want to be out of this world? But, I mean, in the wilds.
In the wilds. This episode, we're going to be talking about Outer Wilds by Mobius Digital. This game came out back in May of 2019, and I played this on the PC. It was 10.79 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
I am proud of Mobius Digital, for they have succeeded. Only 7.7 gigabytes on the Xbox One. A savings.
Well done.
3 gigs.
What a savings it was.
For all you Xbox players.
But does it save the game? We'll find out. What kind of game is this?
I put first-person exploration adventure.
Okay.
I couldn't decide between exploration and adventure. It's both, I guess.
Fair. That's fair. I wrote down first-person space mystery.
Oh, it is a mystery.
There's definitely some mystery going on in this world. Or
Space,
worlds.
Space also important.
Space is important because you do go in there a couple times.
We agree on the first person part, though.
Yes. And that game loop. Let's talk about that game loop, Tom. What do we got here?
Travel around and read to learn about world and unravel a mystery.
Yeah.
I
wrote find out what the heck is going on. Because what the heck is going on?
Yeah, the mystery, right? What the heck is going on? I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah. It is very strange, very alien. I when I saw like the box art and all that stuff, I thought you're playing a human.
Right, yeah.
And then I was very surprised when I looked at the people I was with, and they were not human. And it was a little jarring, a little surprising.
I was not prepared for that either.
No.
But let's talk about some things that you liked, Chris.
Sure. Overall, I thought the game looked pretty good. And now it is a 3-year-old game.
Yeah.
At this point, it looked pretty good for what it was. The music, I think, right off the get-go was really good. The menu music all the way through the game, or the time that I played it was really good. And this intrigue of mystery was good. I thought that they did a good job of kind of, because like the way you start off the game, it's not very spoilery because it happens very quickly. I guess it depends on how you play the game, but you wake up and you are like told you have to figure out how to get launch codes. You go talk to this person. You try to fly your ship. I did a terrible job. But as you can, if you don't know how to fly your ship, you can, like me, careen into the sun and die. And then what happens? What happens is you wake up again and do it all over again. But this time you have the information from what you played the last time. So it was interesting to see that, because then the conversations change as you talk to people, because they're like, what are you talking about? That never happened. So, and Tom, it's a first-person shooter. Well, it's a first-person's perspective game, not a shooter. I could see my feet.
Yes.
That was important.
They weren't human feet, though, were they?
They were not human feet. They were very alien feet, but I could see them. And I like that, the fact that, the freedom was interesting. I'll say it like that. The fact that I could literally get on my spaceship and just go wherever I want
Yeah.
in this universe, or was kind of cool. But what about you, Tom? What are some of the stuff that you liked about this game?
So I right from the get-go, I thought some of the control choices were interesting. Like it was you press and hold to jump,
Mm,
which gives you kind of that like squat down, jump up kind of vibe, which like right away I was like, oh, this game's going to be a little bit weird, going to be a little bit different
yeah.
than other games that I play. So it
The,
was a
the
good.
aliens with the 4 eyes didn't give it away. It was the jump controls. God.
Well, maybe the alien with the 4 eyes and then jumping like a frog,
Yeah.
and you put those things together.
Right.
It had humor, humor in the dialogue, and in the the context sensitive controls.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was kind of interesting how like menus that you were given were sometimes clever or funny.
Right.
I liked that so flying the spaceship is kind of a big deal in this game.
Yeah.
And they while you're still on the safety of this starter planet, you have the ability to kind of test out some of those skills before you put yourself in mortal jeopardy. So they have
Right.
like a lander thing that you can test out. They have like a spacewalk thing that you can test out and kind of get your feet wet about those kinds of core gameplay concepts before
Yeah.
you actually get out into the danger zone. So I thought that was cool.
Which I dutifully ignored and just like can't stop for this. Got to keep going.
You just beelined right past it. No,
Yeah.
I went and I talked to everybody, Chris, as I always do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I thought the world building and the lore was pretty cool. It's
Mm-hmm.
grounded in science, right? So there's
Science.
there's a lot of things laid out, and it's like this is what our solar system looks like, and then it'll have like technical readouts and explain to different parts of the science. So this alien culture is really into science, and
Mm-hmm.
archaeology and things. That to me is interesting. I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. And as you mentioned, and I think is quite important, your ship is logging like all your missions. So like as you go to planets, as you learn things from talking to people, even if you die, your ship remembers all that stuff. So that helps you like remember what you were up to, and also like what you could try to do next. It does kind of like a branching paths, like where the question marks are, right? Like, this planet is a question mark, so maybe go there. Or, hey, you've talked to these 3-4 people, and now there's this person, and he's a question mark. Maybe you go talk to that person. So, um, it really helped for me solve the problem that I tend to have of the like, what am I supposed to be doing now? Like, when you
Yeah.
give me too much freedom, it can be a problem for me. So,
Right.
and I had one last thing that I liked which was the alien language translator. I thought was pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool. So
Yeah. Your character built it.
so there's this ancient alien language, and nobody knows what it says, but with this special tool, you can go up to it and it like decodes it like right in front of you, and it's just a kind of cool visual and mechanical thing that helps
Yeah.
further along the plot. Like it's just well done in universe. It's a
Yeah.
cool thing.
Even the was it the sound, like the spectrometer thing, was kind of a neat little
Yeah, that was cool too.
thing. It kind of helps you find what you're trying to get to next as well, because you can point that to different planets and things like that. So
Yeah,
hopefully gets you to your next objective of sorts. So
the game does a good job of giving you tools to help you kind of uncover that mystery of what's going on and what happened to these
right.
aliens and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's a neat. They do a good job of giving you the things that you need as a player to kind of make your own fun.
Yeah. But speaking of, well, we talked about fun stuff, but let's talk about some unfun things. What didn't you like about this game?
Okay, so I'll start with the fact that it feels a lot like a Telltale video game,
Mm,
but it doesn't have any voice acting. And
right.
as a consequence, to me, it felt very flat. So while there's
Yeah.
humor in the dialogues or whatever, nothing lands the same way as if it was acted out,
Acted. Yeah. I agree.
And for me,
Like,
that
even though the music was good, like that, I think that voice acting would have taken it to another level. I think it would have kept me more engaged in the game if I could actually hear the voices of these characters. Because they all, yeah, like, to your point, there was definitely some interesting characters, but you know, was it interesting enough when you're just reading it in your head? I don't know.
it's weird because they're aliens. I half expect them to do just alien garbage noises, and they don't even
Yeah,
do that. It's very much like a Pokemon where you just walk up and talk to somebody, but and it's just you read text. But I'm used to that in Pokemon. Like I at least a Pokemon when I send them out make noises. Like
right.
the game is very quiet, a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a design choice. I don't know.
Maybe not enough time. Who knows? Um, what else did you not like here?
Uh, I hated it so much I put it twice. Controlling the spaceship was like really a tough. Um, it makes you feel like death is almost inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a note here like, how do I even land? Like, at no point do they really. I guess they teach you with that lunar lander,
Right.
thing,
The
how to
little game,
land, the little mini game. But the problem I had was when I got launched into space, I didn't realize that there was like a button combination to initiate that landing sequence game. So like
Oh,
I thought I just had to like cut my brakes and like coast into the planet. So
yeah.
I collided with my spaceship into a planet, and my spaceship just exploded into a million pieces. And
Oh,
then
I didn't.
yeah.
Interesting. I didn't even do that. I did get to the point where, like, I think there's like an autopilot
Yes.
moment, and you could turn that on. I was like, oh, cool. I'm just gonna let me land perfectly. It doesn't do that though. It like stops like right when you're right in front of the planet, and then you have to figure out how to land after that. I'm like, wait, what? What am I doing here? So that was definitely frustrating.
And
Um,
that plays a lot like these old school DOS
oh
lunar
yeah,
lander games, which I mean, Chris and I are a little bit older, but if you know
yeah,
what I'm talking about, those games are incredibly frustrating. Like
oh yeah,
trauma inducing from my childhood. Like I remember
yeah.
playing these games on old computers and it's like it's not possible. It doesn't feel
No,
possible.
no, 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 it doesn't. And I had the feeling of a roguelike in this game because of
Mm.
the dying, getting better, or remembering things so that you can, progress further in the story. It's like, oh, they tried to sneak in a roguelike here. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. So,
I've got to agree with you on that because so at the end of my hour, I like, if I can, I like to save my progress, in the consideration that perhaps I will return to this, right? I'm still
right.
making up my mind, right? At this point. There was no obvious way to save your progress in this game.
No.
And so, you have to kill yourself to save the game because
Right.
once your character dies, all of those memories get saved and then you wake up again, in this roguelike loop.
Right.
So I reached the end of my hour and I was like, okay, but like, how do I save? There's nothing in the options menu. There's nothing. And I was like, well, I've died before and it saved at that time. So I guess that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. You're basically Tom Cruise in Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You just have to find a truck to run you over or whatever it is. Or in this case, you run into the sun. So that's what we did, or that's what I did. I also, while the freedom part was nice, it for me gave me I just kind of put my hands up. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, even though the ship logs all this stuff. It just I felt really like lost a lot of the time. Even when I was getting into a planet, I tried to use the spectrometer, or whatever that sound wave thing, and it's like, oh, I kind of see what I'm supposed to go to, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't enough. The thing that this game made me feel like how I would feel when playing Sea of Thieves alone. Like it just doesn't feel the same as like when you're with someone playing that game. And I get it. Space is very isolating, very, visceral experience. But this was like, I don't know. This game does a lot of another game that does extreme show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Where, you talk to some people, they do some kind of exposition a little bit, but you got to figure it out. They're just like, here you go. Have at it. Good luck.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? So it's just kind of that stuff.
Expect you to go out there, explore.
Which, I guess that's the point of the game, maybe, but I just would have liked a little bit more guardrails or something to get me to where I'm going, at least to understand what I'm trying to do. I'm not very much into the sandbox game, so that's the thing. So
doesn't do it for you. Well,
anything else you want to bring up?
Yeah, not really on my end. I feel pretty good about what I've got here. How about you? Got some? How long does this take to beat?
Oh, so our other thoughts here. Yes, this game, according to How Long to Beat, takes about 22 hours to beat.
All right,
quite a long game. It's a pretty meaty game.
It is, but it's not. It is also not 60 hours. So
it is not 60 hours. That's true. So I guess there's that. And it is Xbox Cloud saves and cloud enabled. However, you do need a gamepad, a controller to play it on your mobile device.
Yeah, I can't imagine. As frustrating it was to try to land that thing with the gamepad,
oh my gosh.
I'd throw my
touch
phone
controls
out the window.
For this would have been it would have been horrible with touch controls for sure. Any other thoughts there though for you, Tom? Before we get to our final decisions?
No, going back to the fact that I had to kill myself to save. It just feels weird to me. Like,
right.
Like, was I supposed to intuit that? Again, the show don't tell, right? Like, they don't tell you in any meaningful way, like Edge of Tomorrow style, right? Like,
right.
This is the only way to do it.
Yep. So, all right, I guess let's get into it. Let's get into our final thoughts here, Tom. Are we gonna keep this game or throw it into a black hole? But before we get to that, we wanted to let you know about our spectacular sponsor, Winner Winner. Winner Winner is a live arcade claw machine game available on Android and iOS, and it's 100% skill-based. Trust me, if you see me play my games, you know I'm not that great, and I still have won games on my first try. There's hundreds of prizes, even featuring gaming merch from Nintendo. Pick your prize from choices in your particular game, or bank your earnings with tickets to redeem any other prize you want from their wide selection. And for all you lovely people listening or watching our show, you can get bonus tokens on your first app token purchase. Download and create your account, then use the link in the episode's description to enter promo code DALE after you sign in. Check it out. It's clawsome.
Well, I'm glad I figured out how to save before I quit the game. But that said, I don't know that I'm going to go back to this. I don't want to say for sure, no way, no how.
Yeah.
Because it does have some cool moments. There, the tools were cool. I had enough. There were moments when I was playing this where I was like, yeah, that was, or when I land and I didn't explode myself and I was like, hey, I did it. Like,
Yeah.
You do get some of those like eureka, like feel good moments. But I don't know if there were enough of them to make up for the lack of voice acting, the lack of direction, a lot of the bigger problems that I have with this game. How about you?
The thing for me is what's interesting is this game got a lot of awards, got a lot of praise when it came out, and I was pretty excited to at least give it a shot because because of all that critical praise about this. But honestly, I had no idea what was going on, and by the end of it, I just kind of gave up. And I watched a YouTube video about what's going on at the end of it because I was like, okay, two alien life forms trying to figure out something. What is it? Let's just YouTube. You tell me. Interpret this for me, please. So. I'm not going back to this game. But I appreciate that I got a chance to try it though, because it's been something I've been trying.
You YouTubed the spoiler, like,
yes.
How does this end? All right, now I know it ends. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, pretty much. That was it. So
you saved yourself 21 hours.
I did. I totally saved myself 21 hours. I'm glad I did. Because it would have been a lot more than 21 hours for me, I'll tell you that much. So those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D, or shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. Check out our next streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. We don't really have a schedule. We just kind of go and play whenever. So if you see us play, we're only going to be on for an hour. So there's that. And if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, send us a comment down below and we'll try to read and respond to them. So, and as always, Tom, 1H1D is part of the QTB network. And if you like gaming podcasts, be sure to check out Quit the Build, a weekly gaming news podcast, or to see the whole lineup, check out quitthebuild.com/network.
They probably like gaming podcasts if they're listening to this one.
Hey, then they get in there and we got gaming news. We've got other streamers and stuff like that on the network. So it's, it's a good time. It's a good old time here. But speaking of good old times, we got to find out what we're playing next, don't we?
What are we going to play, Chris? Who is going to tell us?
The surprise me button is going to tell us this time. So let me know button. Old Faithful has gotten us to 83 episodes here. Here we go. Okay. Nuclear Throne. It's not nuclear.
Nuclear? Are you sure?
It's not nuclear. It's Nuclear Throne. Is this a little interesting game? We'll see. And we're going to find out as we play it on our next episode. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.